On today's episode of Whiskermen's podcast, Beards in Business, we are in store with Megan and Patrick at Beckel's Humidor and Aficionado. At the end of the podcast, stay tuned for a special walkthrough of the Aficionado and the store, along with details on the upcoming St. Patrick's Day Bash.
Welcome home to Beckel's Humidor, where we carry the finest top brands of cigars in the world.
When you walk through that door, you are part of our family. You are always welcome at Beckel's Humidor. With every cigar purchase, if you stay and hang out, you get free sodas and beer, scotches, bourbons, whiskeys, and snacks, and you'll make the best friends. So come on home to Beckel's Humidor.
All right, guys, welcome to a very, very special edition of Whiskermen's podcast, Beards in Business. Obviously, we're focusing on the business section. I am honored to be filming this in store, which is a rarity. This is the first time we did this. So make sure you give lots of love. So I've got the privilege, you guys have heard me hint about this on several episodes leading up to this. I've got the privilege to be in Beckel's, and I have two amazing people, one to my left, one to my right. I will first turn it over to Megan to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Megan. I am retired from 26 years in the Army, and I'm one of the founders, co-owners, and the manager of Beckel's Humidor.
And then to my left is Patrick.
And I am Patrick Beckel, one of the founders and co-owners of Beckel's Humidor.
So, guys, first, this is one of the most amazing places. I've been in many different environments. You guys have one of the most welcoming, all-inclusive, and fun places. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And if you have not been into this shop, you need to just. It's like nothing you've ever seen in your life. So first and foremost, but what made you guys being cousins?
Sure. Yeah.
What made you guys first want to go into business together? I know family businesses, being in business with my wife, it's a love-hate relationship most days. But why did you guys want to do this together?
I'm going to let Pat take that
I'm
one
going to take that one.
It is a funny story.
Yeah, it's a great story. So when I decided to buy this building, I bought it for a friend, had no inkling of opening a cigar shop at all. And the friend moved out 10 minutes after I bought the building. So now I'm stuck with the building. My wife just says, "You spent how much money?" And so I thought, you know what? A cigar shop would be great up here, a lounge where people can get together, do business. I belong to one in Cincinnati, and that's where all the business in Cincinnati got done. But I thought, but I can't run it. I'm not very smart. I don't know anything about retail. I, thank God, have talented family members. And one of the coolest things, so Megan and her husband, Dennis, they were deployed, different regions of the world. Mm-hmm. Can't say what they do or I'd have to kill you. But they were deployed, and every Sunday, they would get together on video chat and smoke a cigar together. No matter where they were, they made sure to do that. I thought that was the coolest thing, because cigars truly do bring people together. Mm-hmm. And so I saw that she had posted that she was retiring, and I said, that's perfect. She's got the perfect personality. She's brilliant. She's funny. She hits really hard.
No, keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course.
Go on.
See, that's where the family dynamic comes in.
It is.
You won't get that with regular business partners.
No.
This is great.
Yeah. So I called her up, and she's like, absolutely, I'm in. And so that's how it started. We said when we opened this, we wanted this to be the most welcoming place where anybody that came in here, no matter who you are, your background or your education level or any of that, you were welcomed. Because it's amazing when you walk into a cigar shop and you're around people that are different than you, how you are accepted and you become one of them and you all become best friends. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think that's one of the parts that drew me in of, you've got a civilian, for lack of a better term, cohesiveness in here. But then you also are so welcoming to first responders and the veterans.
Yeah.
Most of, and Megan, you could probably speak to this, most of our veterans are kind of lost when they take that uniform off.
Oh,
Because
100%.
we talk different. We
Yeah.
say things that most people would go, we were, I think military veterans were cancel culture before it became cool.
Yeah.
So why, besides your background, why do you guys go out of your way specifically for that? Like to make the veterans, I think, everyone feels welcome, but you guys go that extra mile for the veterans.
Yeah. I don't feel like it's out of our way. I think just from being in that long, it, like you said, it's a culture. It is a way we talk. It's the way we think of things. It's the way we literally pick on everybody without meaning any malice whatsoever. It's just kind of what we do, that I feel like it's just kind of taken hold in here. And because of that, we have a huge veteran following, like you said, and we even started our patch wall, which has gotten all of our first responders patches. And, my old first sergeant's up there. I mean, it's crazy how people feel comfortable in here. The veterans feel comfortable in here. I think because it does kind of take them back to where they don't have to worry about what they're saying. They don't have to worry about pissing somebody off or offending someone, God forbid, anymore. In here, it is what it is. You say what you say, and, we go on. Like, we get a good laugh of it.
I love that. And I think the balance that you both bring of, having the prior service that you to an outsider, it looks like you're intentionally, and looking back off of what you said, it's not you, it's just part of who you guys are.
Yeah.
To where you're bringing that balance, and then you bring a business aspect and a community relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the coolest things about that, the first time I came in here, didn't realize it was right as the pandemic had hit. You were still, I think you were actually deployed. And Patrick gave us a tour, didn't think anything of it. He was like, yeah, I smoke cigars occasionally. Fast forward to June of last year, we were side by side at an event.
Yeah.
He said, hey, you need to come in and you need to be part of the heart of Centerville. We came in, and the bond between the three of us was quick. And I think part of that is your military service, and then I think the family connection of being cousins. Of you guys got to work together because you're family. You're to see each other at Thanksgiving, St. Patrick's Day, which we'll get to here in a minute. But you guys have that openness and, of a family feeling when you sit in here. So, want to get a little bit deeper into what separates you guys from everybody else. So, what we're going to do is we're going to break off. I'm going to talk to Patrick upstairs in the private club in a little bit. But first, I want to dive in a little bit deeper in the main customer area of the store with you, Megan.
Sure.
So we'll hold that thought and we'll be right back. Megan, so one of the things I wanted to chat one-on-one with was one, I wanted to get the amazing Winston in, but you can see, and I'll get a better viewpoint of the military theme that you guys have throughout here. So one of the things that you guys do that is very different from any other cigar place ever, and have been in several of them in multiple different states, you guys personalize it and make sure that the customer gets what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So can you kind of walk me through the experience from your tagline when they walk into the door to where a new person says, hey, I'm trying for the first time?
Yeah. So as soon as somebody comes in, it's always welcome home, right? Because this is like someone's living room. As a matter of fact, we've had people come in thinking they're in the wrong place because they thought they literally walked into someone's living room. So yeah, it's everybody. It's welcome home. What I like to do with people is, a majority of people, they know what they're looking for. So I kind of, if they're new in the shop, I kind of point out our big lines, what they might be looking for, or help them find what they need. But there's a lot of people that are still like brand new on their 21st birthday, or still dabbling, like just started a year or two ago, still trying to find what they like, what they don't like. As I try to find out what they did like in other cigars that they've already tried, or what they didn't like even, oh, I hated this one because of XYZ. It's like, cool, I know to steer them clear of this because it's very similar. But I like explaining it to people, like it's almost, especially new people, it's like wine, right? It's like some people like red, some people like white, some people like dry, some people like sweets. So it's like, where do you kind of put them in the cigar categories on what to point out? So um, I, um, just learning from when we opened, because I knew my brand, I knew what I liked. I knew of a couple cigar lines. Like, to be honest, I didn't even know half of these brands in here when we got them in. It was like, oh my gosh, I have so much to learn. But smoking through them myself, like, all right, well, let's try this one and see, what's what about it. It's really helped me get those cigars or get those recommendations out there to people. And to be honest, almost every time I have people, especially when they stay here and smoke, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is excellent. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I wanted." I've never had somebody say, "Oh, that's terrible." So that's a good thing.
Yeah, and you again, we're just kind of weaving in it unintentionally of weaving that family.
Mm-hmm.
Come in as welcome home. People think that they're in the living room. See the house dog hanging out. I don't have anything. So it's really that experience. And then I think the one thing that you said there without saying is you guys should listen to the customer. There you go. A little delayed, right? You listen to the customer, because I know I personally, I'm a flavor snob. I like the tobacco specials, and have recently tried to branch out. And you've taken the time to kind of step me off, not from to where most people, other places would go. Oh, you like this? Let's go right into this high end, big,
Yeah, no.
make you sick. So
Yeah.
that is one of the things that I love about this place. So where did that? Let's go a little bit deeper into where did you guys come up with the welcome home? I know you said because it kind of is homely, but how did that come about? Was it an accident?
It was actually. So one of our local lines that we carry is Jeremy Bird is his name. It's Empire Cigar Company. He's right here out of Dayton, and he comes in here a lot. Like, this is his shop to hang out in. When he's got time off work or whatever. And he said it one day to somebody coming in, and I'm like, Jeremy, I love that. I'm stealing it. And he's like, steal it. Like, it was Jeremy's fault. We came up with that. So
That's funny how I want the viewers. Jeremy's I met him, and it's such a small world that I'm originally from Philadelphia and an Eagles fan. Jeremy is an Eagles fan because he has a relative who used to play. I won't go into that because that's private. But it's so cool how it's like there was that Kevin Bacon 6 degrees of separation.
right.
And it's funny that that's where you're attributing.
Yeah. One of my customers came
Yeah,
up.
and
Yeah.
that's so funny.
Yeah.
So changing gears, I know that there was something that you guys landed within the last year that really has set you guys head and shoulders above some of the other folks. What were those two things that you landed?
The two lines that we brought in.
Yes,
yeah. So last year, when Mike and I were in Vegas, we landed Padron, and that was huge for us. And in 2 months prior to that, we actually got approved for Fuente. But once you're approved for one, you kind of get approved for the other. But the vetting that we had to go through for Fuente to go direct with the family was pretty crazy. For about 2 years in a row, they would come up, take photos, send them back to the company, and kind of do a write up of what the store is about, how big or small we are, yada yada yada. And finally, we got the green light. I think it was May of last year for Fuente, and then because of that, we were able to get Padron. And that's kind of when we knew we made it. Like, this is huge for us because we didn't have to go through what is it, a broker or wholesaler. We don't go through. We don't do that. We go direct with the families. Yeah.
And one of the other things, and I've never spent extensive amount of time in other shops, so maybe this is common and I'm just overlooking it. But I've noticed several times to where I'm having conversations with folks in here, and they're like, "Oh, I'm from my father, or I'm from wherever." Which my father's not actual someone's father; it's just a name brand for those of you. So don't be silly like me.
I've had people say, "Your dad does cigars." I'm like, "No,
what
that's the name of the
you've had in the last 6 months that my father didn't have."
Yeah.
And I came in under the impression, because I'm a little bit slow, that it was your father or Patrick's father. Someone was like, that's how they got into it. We kind of rolled that out. it's an actual brand for those of you that are watching us. So that's really interesting. But is that something that you're aware of? That the obviously they want to build that connection. I've seen some folks that are, the dealers, I guess for lack of a better term, that will sit here for hours.
Yeah, our reps are all pretty great. Like we had one of them show up last year just because it was St. Patty's Day. He brought in a bottle of liquor to share with everybody and wanted to hang out with us on St. Patty's Day, even though he's from Kentucky somewhere. He drove up here, not to do an event, not to do anything, but he did bring some samples so we could kind of do some sort of sale of some sort. But like he provided all that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to clear up, because I think maybe we're putting a preconceived notion, I want to definitely clear up for you folks at home. So you've got all of these top name, high end cigars that are right on the other side of this wall. There's someone at home that's gone, man, I'm looking at $100 to sit down and smoke.
Oh, no. $100? Is that what you said?
Yep.
No.
So I'm sure there's folks at home that are going, and they've got all these high end brands. So tell us a little bit about like why that most people would think, well, it's a high end, this is a classy place. They think that it's going to be lots of money.
So cigars can be expensive. That is for sure. Like we do have a cigar in here that is a $50 cigar. It is a limited edition. It's an anniversary edition. It's once it's gone type thing. But that's an excellent cigar, and it's definitely a good gift cigar, right? But our price range is anywhere from about $10 to that $50 price range. But typically, in all honesty, 10 to 20 is probably a majority of my cigars, which is normal. Anywhere else you go, it's normal. We do not carry $3 and $4 cigars. We just don't. I mean, there are cigars out there that cost that much, but we don't carry them in here. We wanted to try to keep our inventory a little bit better, better quality, better consistency, better smokes all around. Because some of the, not all, but some of the cheaper ones you'll have problems with in trying to smoke them. But I mean, we definitely wanted to keep it highfalutin, if you'll say, because we're in Centerville. I mean, our area calls for some class. Like, let's be honest. Like, I don't bring it. The shop has class itself. I come in with my dog and my my military background, but this area definitely is a high class area. I love it. They were very welcoming, Centerville in general. Even the mayor was here for our ribbon cutting. But we wanted to bring good quality product to this area. So
yeah, and I think I said it, and I had to ask for forgiveness and permission, because one of the things that we've been fortunate enough to do at Whiskermen was partner to where we're able to sell some of their cigars when
Yeah.
we're, within regulations and the law and all that stuff.
Mhm.
I told a customer that you guys are high end without the high end prices. And
I agree.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, I can see that, because even the folks that I interacted with thought they were going to be, breaking out, throwing a bunch of bills on the table. So that's really interesting of how that misconception and then how you guys separate. Going back to, we are in uptown Centerville. That this is definitely probably one of the fastest growing areas. You have almost every walk of life come through that door, through military veterans that probably would get thrown out of other places like this, like us, all the way up to high-end politicians. So what do you attribute to that draw of how you're able to? Most businesses will draw either or. There's not a full rainbow there.
Yeah, I think some people, even our politicians that come in here, they can be themselves in here. You don't always have to be on all the time, if that makes sense. Right. They can be themselves. We can cut up. We can laugh. We can make some off the wall jokes. Sometimes we're sitting in here just watching movies because everybody's just wore out from the week. We'll put a movie on and just smoke and have a drink and whatever. But I mean, I think it has a lot to do with our regulars in general, they're all kind of, not only just in and out customers, but our regulars, our members, like you said, they run this gamut of people, of business owners, politicians. Our youngest is like 24, but he's almost running his own business. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's crazy the age differences and the, even gender differences. Everybody just kind of, like you said, it's automatically, it's welcome to the family. Some of these people have been to my house for my kids' birthday parties. I mean, it's crazy how close we have gotten with some of these people and what they do for us in here. I mean, we've got a guy that helps install our lights. We had a guy donate our smoke heater. Like it's insane, the family bond that is created when you come in here and you have somebody to talk to. Or sometimes people come in and they don't want to say a word.
Right.
They just want to sit, enjoy the music, listen to everybody else talk, but they just need to kind of chill for a minute.
Yeah, I think that's part of why, as a fellow veteran, it really draws in. You want to talk to someone and say, hey, I'm struggling. There's someone who can have that conversation and kind of guide you in the right direction.
Yeah. We've had that in here.
If you just want to sit here and go, leave me alone, you can do that. So it's so welcome. So before you go upstairs and talk to Patrick, and then we'll come back together, anything you want to add, anything that I left out? I know Winston's got something he wants to say, but he's being very quiet.
Well, speaking of Winston, we are dog friendly. I mean, honestly, we have a couple regular dogs that come in. Steven's one of them. Buddy, the chocolate lab, and my mom brings her little Sophie in. As long as their dog, that if you're bringing them in, are friendly and chill and not going to have an issue with other dogs, bring them. Like I've got so many snacks. It's insane. It's insane. But yeah, I just, thanks for taking the time to do this. And
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
We're gonna get back together. I'm gonna go upstairs and show you guys the exclusivity club that anyone can be part of, and then we'll come back together. But guys, you don't smoke cigars, you want to still see this place because it's amazing. And you want to meet this furry monster right here. Winston is probably one of the most lovable figures in this place. He does this all the time. So he's hamming it up a little bit for the camera, but come in and at least see Winston if you don't get a cigar, and buy a cigar for him.
All right, everybody, we just transitioned upstairs after talking with Megan, and I'm up in the aficionado now with Patrick. So Patrick, tell us a little bit about the dynamic of having the downstairs as a customer sales point to sell cigars. Obviously, you can't have a cigar shop without selling, versus what's going on up here in the aficionado.
So the cigar shop is where the only place we make our money, by selling cigars. So, we'd mentioned before about all the food and the drinks and everything are free. So yes, we do want you to support us by buying cigars. But the upstairs was formed to bring people together. We came about right after COVID when everybody was separated. So we put in this air filtration system that changes the air out in the building every 6 minutes. So it's very COVID friendly and also helps with the cigar smoke. But it's a private club, and it's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to members. And that gives you access to some of the top people. So we have our state reps, our city managers. We have all sorts of things going on here. We have people, top business owners, all get together. And that's why we have the different rooms. We've got the boardroom, we've got the lounge, we've got the game room, we've got the locker room, all the different places for people to gather.
Yeah, and I know some of the clientele that you have are so elite that saying their names would cause a frenzy.
Those are mainly the professional athletes. Those politicians, they're trouble.
Absolutely. So. And one thing that, I don't know how it's portraying across the camera, but you could see hopefully that our smoke is literally going away, which is amazing. It's a nice, I know when we had the Christmas party up here, it was very great atmosphere.
It's traveling straight up to that exhaust fan up there.
It's awesome because you can come in here and still do business things without being cigar. And at the end of the video, I'll do a quick walkthrough of the upstairs so that you can see some of the things. So why did, I know you wanted to bring everybody together, but
you probably could accomplish that just as easy with the downstairs and having folks do it during business hours. So tell me a little bit more about the thought of having an exclusivity 24/7 access club.
And I like the way that you say exclusivity, because it's people think of that and they think, oh, I've got to be rich or I've got to be the president of a seat. No, exclusivity to us is people who want to make a difference in their community, people who want to help, people that want to get together and do things with each other. We've got a big push in the heart of Centerville of shopping local and supporting all your local businesses, because that's what keeps money in the community. But those people, there's so many people that are active in your community. They're out there doing all the blocking and tackling for us every day. This is a place for them to get together. That's why I wanted to be 24/7, because you never know. You work during the day, and you may not be able to get into the lounge downstairs during that time, but you can get a meeting up here. And we never charge for the meeting up here if you have like a business meeting that's going to affect the community and you're not a member. We still allow you to come up and have that meeting. But for members, you get access to the politicians, you get access to the city officials, you get access to the professional athletes, you get access to the people who truly do make differences in your community.
Yeah, and it's just that atmosphere alone is just amazing to come up here and sit, and even the few times that we've got to sit and chat, to like be mentored in a nice, calm. There's not when we're downstairs, there's more folks, but when you come up here, you can kind of have a one-on-one private conversation. And it's really that exclusivity of that access, but it's exclusive to everyone.
It is.
And I think one of the things that you kind of have of, if you want to make a difference in the community, I'm sure there's folks that are very selfish and want to make a difference in their business, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
But you also have to lean in a little bit and support, because you are very community centric, and very giving of. I know you're part of the Veterans Day event.
Heart of Centerville,
Rotary
Club,
many different things. And I know some of the meetings, the Veterans Day event, when I first got introduced, you were hosting up here, which allows a relaxed atmosphere to where you're dealing with business, but you're not 100% in that business mindset to where you can kind of speak freely. So I think that's all I have. Is there anything that you want to add about up here that we may have not covered?
Yeah. I don't want people to be put off by saying, hey, I'm not the CEO of a company, or I'm not that. If you have the heart of a volunteer, you're somebody who cares. It doesn't matter your education level. It doesn't matter your political background, your religious affiliation, your race. We want you. We want all good people up here, because we have several Stanford professors. They are on the same level as the person who got to 8th grade and went out in the workforce. They become best friends. It's amazing. Everybody is equal. Everybody contributes the same. And there is nothing greater than the heart of a volunteer. And that's what we want. Good people in here who can sit down, relax with people of all different backgrounds and make a change.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And you definitely can experience that whether you're up here or downstairs. It seems like every time I walk out of here, I walk out a little bit better of a human being. Someone pours something into you while you're here. So
Ditto.
Amazing. So we're going to go ahead and pause here, and then we'll pick back up. We'll reconvene with Megan and Patrick, and then we'll get into some other topics. All right, guys, we're back downstairs. We've really dug deep into this amazing shop. So definitely want to make sure that we cover two final points. One of them is what happens in this room on Wednesday. So Patrick, I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about a little bit of the history, where that came from, and what it is that actually happens here on Wednesday.
So a long time ago, when I moved to Centerville, with my insurance business, we held what was called a happy hour. And it was part of the Heart of Centerville, which is an amazing small business group that brings together all the businesses in Centerville. We have now 260 members. And we would meet on Wednesdays and talk about what's working in Centerville, what's not working for our businesses and marketing, and all the good things that goes along with it. And I would always serve food and drinks, and it was at the insurance agency. So when we opened this up, it was a perfect spot to start with our team. So Wednesdays we have happy hour, which we get in local business owners and people making a difference in the community, and city officials. They all come down, and we all get together, and we have cigars and drinks and food. You don't have to smoke. Obviously, we want you to because we sell cigars. So please buy the expensive. But we want to bring everybody together. And Wednesdays, it ends up becoming a great time. It goes from 2:30 to 7 every Wednesday.
Mhm.
Everybody's welcome.
So, digging a little bit deeper, it almost sounds like you said what happens on Wednesdays is what the aficionado section is, what open to everybody. So Wednesday, anybody can walk in and be part of that. They don't have to be a member. And that was one of the things that really got me involved in this local shop of coming in on Wednesdays. Of in June, I was coming out of a dark place, and being around you two specifically really lifted me up, and then being thrown into this environment where you guys have made connections advertently, inadvertently, a little bit of that to make Whiskermen grow to where it is today. So whether you're a small business or you're just looking to interact with folks, that Wednesday is like that's on the calendar. Don't book anything.
Everyone, it's our weekly networking event.
Be here, come in, hang out. Whether it's most times you're getting a phone call saying where are you. So definitely very interesting. And then we're going to be diving deeper into the heart here in a couple of weeks. So make sure you stay tuned to that. So Wednesdays, 2:30 to 7, right here, and we'll put the address up at the end. There's also something. There's a national holiday that's coming up. It happens to fall on a Sunday this year, which is a little weird because some of us have to work on Monday. Not in that, some of us. But. So you're doing something special on a Saturday.
Yes.
So, Megan, why don't you tell us a little bit about that event that's coming up?
This is our 3rd annual St. Patty's Day Bash. So the first year we opened in April. Yeah, April Fool's Day. So I guess we were almost open a year. We were like, let's try this St. Patrick's Day thing because that's always a big day for us anyways. I always took that day off work. Even in the military, I took leave and I went and celebrated St. Patty's Day. I'd start in the morning with my folks and we'd go get breakfast and beers and then we'd go out. But so we started doing it here and it has grown amazingly. Like this place is packed and it is so much fun. And there are kilts and a ton of green and a ton of drinks. And we're going to have a really cool menu this year. So Saturday the 16th, it's going to be all day long. Details to follow because I'm still trying to figure out what time we're actually going to open because we do open early. I just don't know what time we're going to do it this year. And then we stay open till people are just done. So and that has happened. That has happened. We will probably provide a pillow and some blankets in the bathroom this year for whoever passes out in there this year. Yes. So.
And then the gentleman home that was in the skirt last time, not the kill. That was great.
So with that, and I just want to clarify because that sounds like a party of all parties. Cats are going to be living with dogs after that event. That's just the members, right?
No, that is everybody. We open up the entire building.
So Joe down the street can come in, have a cigar,
yes,
and be Irish for the day.
Absolutely.
So open to
anyone. It's basically an open house. The upstairs will be open. It's a good way for us to get people that may have been reluctant to take a tour because they just weren't really sure if that was for them or not. But this place is wall to wall, wall to wall.
Shenanigans will occur?
Absolutely. And I've already looked at the 30-day weather forecast and we might be getting lucky. Might be able to put stuff out on the patio. So
Megan did an amazing job of selling it. For those of you that are watching this, I promise you, if you come, I have had this will be the 2nd official party. Christmas party here was amazing, and they keep talking about it. So I have something extra special in mind that I'm going to try to do for these lovely locks that are falling off my chin. So if nothing else, you want to come have a cigar, see something crazy. Maybe I'm going to get a kilt and sit like this. Not on camera though. The hype has been there, and talking to these two great people, it's something that you're not going to want to miss. So we will post the Instagram and Facebook links so that you can follow to get more information. Winnie will be there. He's in the corner just partying now. He's getting ready for it to ease into it. So before I turn it over to you guys, one thing that I want to make sure that we iterate for clarification purposes that we discussed earlier of when you come into an environment like this, we have talked of everyone's welcome. We kind of there's conversations. Patrick, we kind of unpackage this a little bit. The folks that will be good-natured ribbing, it's done in a manner that is playful and not meant to hurt anybody, right?
No, right, yeah.
So, and this is the beauty of this is why we wanted to do this in store.
Hey, how are you?
This is happening.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? Thanks, yeah, welcome home.
I actually have a question about your business. Actually, so if you notice, I've shaved my head now, so I can't. I have a lot more time and a lot fewer hair care products. But I'm growing my beard, and at what stage of my beard growth should I start looking at Whiskermen products?
When you start growing it?
See,
Oh my!
Megan's on the payroll. So it is literally it's our products. I'm the face. That's it.
Yeah.
I said this on the other show. The way Jennifer makes that is you could use it just like a cologne, put it on your face as an aftershave. But really, once you get that first past 5 o'clock shadow, you want to start taking care of it.
So like right now, where it is now?
Correct.
Is that okay?
You are perfect. And where it differs is you just product. So to where I use a flow dropper about that much, you may only want to use 1 or 2 drops. Because it's not necessarily for you. The dirty secret, and I put this out on other shows, it's not for your hair. The oils itself. Oils are actually for your skin. Moisturize and things like that. So that's a great question.
So and nothing for the back hair.
It will work. It will work on all hair. But you have amazing shapes.
And that'll happen as soon as spring is. It's right now much.
So, any other questions, comments you want to throw out? We'll wait for Megan to come back.
Yeah, let's see what Megan has to say. Probably the 3rd grade level.
Wow.
All right.
So hold that thought. All right, guys. So again, totally unscripted. Megan did what she does. You may or may not have picked it up. There's a gentleman and his wife walked in. Welcome home. So now we're going to try to get something at a higher than 3rd grade level. I'm not going to say who said it, but so this is the part to where turn it over to you. You are now in control. You can ask any questions. You make any comments. Anywhere you want to go, the floor is yours.
Oh, that's crazy.
Now it's just trying to come above a
I know. Hold on,
Keep in mind, we were
the
both
gears
publicly school educated
are
in Clark
turning.
County.
Yeah, Patrick, God love him. Face for radio, and you put him on a podcast.
Some people play hard to get, some play hard to want.
So, Whiskermen, right? So, we love this collaboration that we have done. And we have talked about it before, and I'm going to put you on the spot. When are we getting our Beckel's line?
So we will shoot to launch something we're filming this a little bit early to be transparent with the audience. Let's have it April 1st launch.
For our 3rd birthday.
There you go.
3rd anniversary.
Let's do it.
We will launch the exclusive Beckel's beard oil for your 3rd anniversary.
I love
it.
that.
So
Yes.
committing to it now.
Okay.
If you don't see me on future podcasts,
Yeah.
it's because the wife decided to kill me.
Sorry, Jen.
We will do it. And that's one thing, and I want to turn it back over to you, but something that I'm going to highlight in the post show when I show you the videos is this is not just a cigar shop. There is 5, 6 different small businesses, products on the shelf.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's definitely, and again, we're inadvertently tying that thread of community is family. That it's not just we're cigars. That's it. That's all we want from you guys. There's something for everybody here. So and you're gonna have exclusive beard oil come 1 April.
And that's something that Megan
Yeah.
right here. But one thing Megan did when she set a lot of this stuff up, she made us a legacy shop. So like our cigars, we get from the families. We deal directly with the Fuente family. We deal directly with the Padron family. We deal directly with them because we want to be that true supporter of, and it's hard to call them small business, but they're family-run business, and we want to support those. That's what we want.
Hey guys, this is another. I want to make sure I'm making this very clear for you that's watching us right now. Patrick was upstairs when Megan and I had that almost word for word conversation.
We did.
Oh,
And none of this, we don't plan any of this. So it just goes to show you, yes, they're opposites, but their thought process goes in the same. And I think that's what separates this place from anything else out there, whether it's a cigar shop or almost any other business. So you asked one great question. I'm sure you got something else.
I do.
So I want to give you the opportunity. The floor is yours.
Which chairs do you like better?
oh my God.
All of them, because I'm not stepping on that landmine. So those of you that know. If you don't know, you'll have to come in and have some conversation. So guys,
Orange is the new black.
No, God.
hey, great show.
Terrible.
Guys, thank you so much for taking the time. I know we're doing this in store. Life's happening as around us, as you guys saw live. Normally I'd cut to me, but today I want to make sure that I do this special. And hopefully she doesn't get a nasty phone call and he doesn't choke me when he gets home. I always close the show out with thanking our first responders, our military, and our veterans. I want to send a special shout out to Dennis, who's in parts unknown. No one knows where he's at. He's putting in, this is how I want to emphasize this because I rarely do this on the show. He's putting his ass on the line for your ass. So he's out there still carrying the flag of freedom. So Dennis, thank you for what you do. Keep those boys safe out there. If you can't get behind the first responders, our veterans, and our military, please feel free to get in front of them.
Word.
We'll see you on the next show.
All right, guys, pull up. Here's the main entrance to get into the shop. I'm going to take you around into where you would go once you get your private membership. Come around the street, can't miss it. Once you get your private membership, you'll get this door, no code. Once you come through the door, come in, you're greeted by the beautiful Danica Patrick. And then you come in up these stairs. From here, you've got 2 ways to go. Right after. Wardroom, private kitchen, private bathroom, and then the main lounge. And as a member, you have access to one of the cigar boxes. So when you come in through the front door, you can either come up from this side. During the summer, the patio is open, have an overhang, then you come into the store. Having over there liquor when you buy your cigars. Come in here to actually show you a quick selection of some of the cigars. Large selection of very top-rated cigars. Again, you can see we've got extra seating in here, some more seating over here. The sweets collection.
I should reach out to your guys.